Supervisors for April 15th is reconvening. At this point, I'd like to ask Roland Sanford to lead us in the pledge, please.
Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Sanford. Coming out of closed session, we have nothing to report. We will be going back into a continued closed session at the conclusion of today's open session business. At this point, minutes of April 8th are before us.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded for approval of April 8th board meeting minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye, passes unanimously. Let's see. Looks like someone's not quite ready yet with video, so let's take up consent calendar real quick. Supervisor Delmore.
Mr. Chairman, number 10 for discussion later.
Number
It might save a little time. I talked to Howard on this issue, and he assured me this was just for minor stuff, like if they have the striping machine in the area or something. We already have a similar agreement with Ukiah, and it's no way to the point where if it takes like a contract, that where the county would do a contract instead of putting out for a bid, through the bids process. So it's strictly very minor if they're in the area to do things. So he convinced me that I wasn't going to. I just.
All right, Mr. Chairman, and with my colleague's persuasion,
Okay.
I will refrain from removing it. But let the record show I do have those concerns of the county doing private sector work.
I do too, but we do have the same agreement with the city of Ukiah.
Well, I don't think we do. I think that's in the works, but I don't think it's been finalized.
I was told we had a similar agreement with the city of Ukiah.
Mr. CEO.
Yes, sir. Thank you. In discussions with the DOT director last week, I understand the agreement is with the city attorney for the city of Ukiah, and it is going to go forward, but I was told last week that their council has not adopted it yet, although we do expect them to. The Point Arena City Council has adopted it and would like us to move forward, but the city of Ukiah, best information I have, has not adopted it yet, but they will.
Oh, because I was understanding, told that we already had the similar agreement.
I was under the similar misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Then maybe we should pull it.
Well, I would suggest here that functionally it has the same consequences.
Yeah.
What I see a technicality here is this is really on the order of incidental work.
Yeah.
And again, it's a question here of maintaining good relationships between a small jurisdiction and the county. If it were a question of taking work away from private contractors or whatever, then we have a true issue here. We do not have that issue in Point Arena. Simply work cannot get done unless it's done on an incidental basis at times.
And I've had that assurance from our director of transportation that that's what it is. So.
Okay, before we continue, to the clerk, has proper notice been established?
Yes, proper notice has been established.
Thank you.
So I'll move the consent calendar.
As
in its
listed.
entirety, yeah.
Okay. It's been moved. Do I hear a second to approve the consent calendar?
Second.
It's been seconded. All those, any discussion to the motion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the consent calendar say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, item passes unanimously 5-0. Okay, let's go to, we're running a couple minutes late already. Timed item for 10 a.m. Presentation of update report by Pacific Gas and Electric Company staff on wave energy development. To the CEO office.
Thank you. At our board meeting in Fort Bragg last week, several board members had requested a presentation from PG&E regarding the subject of wave energy, and Ian Caliento from PG&E is here to make that presentation this morning.
Thank you, Ian. Proceed.
Ian Caliendo with Pacific Gas and Electric. I was before you last week. This is, we are obligated by FERC upon the granting of the permit, the preliminary permit for the Mendocino Wave Connect project, to submit within 45 days a schedule of activities and a study plan. It's not required. I just want to make clear that it's not required to come and do the meetings that we're doing this week. This was wanting to just clarify the process, bring it before the public and the local governments, and continue this dialogue. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak and receive input from the board and the public. I have with me Bill Toman, is the project manager for the Wave Connect project, and he will be giving the main body of the presentation. So I'm going to turn it over to Bill.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for making time for us today. As a preamble, last night we were in front of the City Council of Fort Bragg, and they also had asked us to give them an update on where we were on the project. And we had presented at that time a draft schedule that was a one-page schedule of what would be bound into our 45-day response letter to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. We heard loud and clear that the community audience in that chamber, as well as the council members, were looking for something a little more detailed, and we listened to that very carefully last night, and afterwards went and completed the draft 45-day letter that we will propose sending to the FERC next week, and that's what we have here in front of us here, and I believe that we've distributed hard copies to the supervisors. On February 27th of last year, PG&E made an application to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for the Mendocino Wave Connect project. We made an application for a preliminary permit. Just as a slight bit of background, the FERC, as they are often called by their initials, has based the licensing of what they call hydrokinetic projects based upon the licensing structure of what they have been doing for more than 50 years with land-based traditional hydroelectric dam facilities. And so they have a similar set of preliminary permits and licenses to operate that are very, very similar in their application here for the Wave Connect Wave Energy project. The preliminary permit was issued to us a month ago on March 13th of this year. And in that permit, the FERC tells us very clearly what we can and cannot do during the 3-year permit period. And it's very, very pointed in that it says that this period is to do environmental studies and feasibility studies for the ultimate application for a license many years down the road. And specifically, and we have copies of the permit to hand out to anyone, this is very important. It says that this preliminary permit grants